Good morning, everyone. This is Rebecca. This is part 5 of my 2025 prep series. As you can see, I am filming from my car. I'm in the parking lot of a surgical center in Syracuse where my husband is presently having knee replacement surgery. So I have a couple of hours to burn, and I wanted to give a quick update to kind of preoccupy my mind from worrying. This is Garth's second knee replacement. I told the doctor that sometimes ignorance is bliss. The first time around we didn't know what to expect and what the recovery would be like, and now we do. So both of us were a little anxious, but he did great the first time, and I'm sure he'll do great this time. We just have a few rough days ahead of us. So that's life. So anyway, we are getting close. I'm about 8 weeks out. Show date is August 16th in Niagara Falls, and I'm getting excited. I'm about 23 to 24 pounds down, really leaning down. At this stage of prep, you really start to see it. You start to see the lines, and I'll show a couple of pictures. You're definitely starting to see some definition in my quads for sure, and so that's exciting to see. It's always very motivating at this stage. You might be getting tired. You've been in a calorie deficit at this stage for a really long time, but when you start seeing those lines, it's sort of an extra motivator to say, okay, things are happening, and so it is a little bit more of a push. So hopefully I'll be feeling pretty good the next few weeks. As it gets to the last 3 weeks or so, that's when it gets really tough. But so far so good. I've had some good days and bad days, but mostly good days this last week. So I want to talk a little bit about what's going on today, just to let folks know that even when there are family emergencies or things that you have to do, there are ways to adapt, even when you're in the midst of prep. So last night I prepped all of my food. So we should actually be heading back home around noon today. We had to get here real early this morning, but so we'll get out of here around noon, which puts us home about 1 o'clock this afternoon. However, there is always a possibility that there could be a complication, and for whatever reason, he might have to spend the night at the hospital here, the surgical center here. So I went ahead and prepped all of my meals for the day, and put all of my supplements in just to be prepared. And that way I know what to expect, and I have my food with me and ready to go. I obviously can't work out, but after I finish up with this, I'm gonna just kind of walk around the parking lot, get a few steps in. It is okay to have some downtime, and I did adjust my coach and I adjusted our workout schedule so that today would be an off of the gym day. And the tricky part's going to be for me, I really need to have him in my eyes for the next 72 hours. He really shouldn't be alone. And so we're going to have to adjust. I do have the ability to do some weightlifting and cardio at home in the house. So I will adjust accordingly. And again, Cassandra Grippy, my coach from Grip Peak Performances, I'll put her information below, has been working with me, and she's reassuring and saying this is in no way going to be a setback. We're all good. We're going to be good. So we are on schedule, and we'll hopefully stay that way. That's the goal anyway. Right now, at this stage of prep, I've been checking in with Cassandra 2 to 3 times a week. And depending on what my weight is doing, depending on what my pictures look like, she has been giving me some refeed, and she'll adjust my cardio accordingly. So again, we're getting down to the nitty gritty, getting down to the specifics. It's really important. One of the things that was sort of frustrating me, when you get to this stage, you get really lean, and sometimes you also get flat. Your muscles are not as filled as you would like them to be, and so it feels like you're losing muscle. You're not losing muscle, but you begin to sort of question, have I actually gained any muscle in this prep? And you feel flat. But I want to show you a couple of pictures, same day pictures. When you're doing your morning check-in pictures, and of course I'm not a morning person, so it takes a good half hour before, and some coffee before I'm really a real human being. And so when I do those fasted check-in pictures, I'm just flat and half asleep, and so there's really not much in the way of my lats. Opening my lats and my posing is not great. And if I were to just go by that, I would be totally discouraged. But then later in the day, you can look at pictures of me posing, and I'm so much fuller. So I guess I'm saying that to say your body, does change, even on an hour-by-hour basis. And so don't be discouraged if 1 minute you don't look the way you want to look. Give it some food, some oxygen, some movement, and you'll be surprised what you have. The other thing, again, that I've mentioned before is try not to compare yourself and your pictures to other people, because again, you don't know under what conditions they're posing. I don't really have a great lighting setup at my house or at my gym, and I'm astounded at some of the lighting setups that I see some bodybuilders have. It's just fantastic. I don't know how to set all that up. I'm not equipped to do so, so I just do the best I can with my pictures. But I might be comparing myself to someone who has a really great lighting setup, and I might think, oh my goodness, they're so much better than I am, when in reality, there's not that big of a difference. So it's important to not compare yourself to other people's pictures. You don't know if they've been edited. You don't know what the lighting situation is. And you don't know if they've done any interesting filters or edits or anything like that. So just be careful about comparing yourself. Remember, it's you against you. My goal is to bring a better physique this time than I did in my first show, and I think I'm going to do that. It's not the physique that I want. I still have not built enough in my glutes and my hamstrings, but I have made progress. And I do see new growth, so that's encouraging. And I have to understand that I am a natty or natural athlete, the age of 60, postmenopausal woman, and I'm kicking butt for where I am in my life. Also, I'm a newbie. I've only been at this seriously for 3 years, so that's not long at all. So just be patient with yourself if you're trying to do this, or even if you're just doing health and fitness and trying to change your body. Slow, steady, consistent progress is what's going to stay with you, and that's what's going to be the best. Posing is going well. It's taken me a while to figure out kind of exactly what I want to do, and there are certain, there are the 4 mandatory poses. There's the front pose, the side right pose, the back pose, the side left pose. Those are the 4 poses where you'll be on stage with other competitors and the judges will be comparing those poses. But then there's in the OCB, we also have an individual presentation. In this show, unlike my first show, so the first show I did back in 2023, you did a T-walk where you started at the back, went to the center, went to one side, and went to the other to make sort of a T. But for this show, it's an I walk, so you're meeting your mark at the back of the stage, then walking forward and doing your poses. And so you get to kind of choose what poses are going to highlight your body the best. And it's only when you start to get leaned down that you begin to see and can really refine those poses and determine, hey, golly, if I flex my leg this particular way, it really makes my hamstrings stand out, or this really helps my shoulders pop. But until you start to lean down a little bit, yes, you should be practicing all of your posing long before the show, but it's really helpful to also wait until you're lean to sort of perfect everything. Sorry, my car shut off and it's hot today, so I had to turn it back on. That's what that dinging is about. So I'm astounded when I look online at some of the posing experts, and they show them, posing their clients, and I'm not going to mention any specific companies or individuals, but be careful who you choose to help you out. Make sure that you really are getting your posing coaching, or really your training and your prep coach is experienced. I work with Cassandra Grippy, who is an IFBB figure pro and certified trainer and nutritionist. She's also worked in the medical field. She's amazing and knows what she's doing. And then for posing, I work with Autumn Cleveland, who again is an IFBB pro and has been on the Olympia stage and has been at the sport for a very long time, and is quite experienced. And so I've really benefited from her posing. I still have tweaking to do. There's still adjustments that I need to make, but her course is very helpful, and she teaches how to properly highlight your muscles and open your lats, as opposed to some of these other posing courses, which, I mean, they're putting their arms out. That doesn't open your lat. Anyway, don't waste your money on someone who doesn't know what they're doing. So just if you're looking for a posing coach, I highly recommend Autumn Cleveland. If you're looking for a training coach and nutritionist, my coach Cassandra Grippy is fantastic from Grip Peak Performance. So invest in yourself, invest in good coaching. The only other thing I'll add is I'm doing something for myself. I'm pampering myself a little bit. In July, in about 4 weeks, I'm going to be doing a photo shoot with a professional photographer named Jim Demarest. I hope I've pronounced that correctly. He is a professional photographer. His photographs have been in high fashion magazines, and I reached out to a friend of mine who is a fashion model, and I said, do you happen to know anybody in this area that maybe I could do a photo shoot with? And she said, well, let me reach out to a couple people, and she connected me with Jim, and he was so sweet. I'm like, I am not a professional model. I'm not photogenic at all. I'm totally intimidated. And he was so sweet, and he was like, we're just gonna have fun. We're just gonna, there's no need to be intimidated. We're gonna have a good time together. So I'm actually really excited. I've spent so much time and effort preparing my body for this, and so I thought, why not spend a little time and effort into doing a little photo shoot. So I'm really excited about that and looking forward to sharing pictures if Jim can manage to get this old lady looking good. I hear he's a magician, so we'll hope for the best. That's it for me. I'm thinking of my husband, as I said, and maybe going to get a few steps in the parking lot here. But here we go. 8 weeks to go. Take care. Peace.